Bandito. This game is smaller than my piece of bread. See? Smaller than my piece of bread. Hey guys, it's me, editing the video, and I just wanted to point something out. You know, I thought it would be funny to eat some bread a couple of times throughout filming this video. You know, haha, very funny. But you'll see a couple of the crumbs every now and then get stuck and wedged in my beard slash mustache slash facial hair. And they persist, you know, throughout the video. You'll see a couple of them popping up every now and then. And they come and they go, and you know, it's torture really. So I thought I'd point it out to you so you can suffer while watching this as much as I suffered while editing it. So enjoy. I like this game, but I don't really like this game. But I like this game, but I don't really like this game. I like this game, but I don't really like this game. I like having this game, but I don't really like this game. But it doesn't matter. Before we get into that though, let me tell you what Bandito is. It's a game that's about 10 centimeters. You can teach it in 10 seconds and it plays in about 10 minutes. And that is one hell of an elevator pitch for any game. Anything that easy to teach, anything that small, opens my ears and gets my interest. This is a cooperative 2 to 4 player route building or route blocking game that you can play with about anyone. You can see it now, right? I mean, I can't look away. It's all I can focus on is that tiny little crumb hanging on, and believe me, it gets worse. Goodness gracious me, for the love of everything pure and good, why? And it's a small box. We'll get into the game and how it works and what I like about it, but why I don't like it in a minute. Okay, so I said I can teach this in 10 seconds. Let's put that to the test, shall we? Everyone's dealt 3 cards. On your turn, you play a card and then pick up another card. And when you play a card, you put down a route to try and stop the bandito guy in the middle of the table from escaping via the routes. I mean, that really is it. You have 3 cards, and on your turn, you choose one of them, and you put it down, and you draw a card. And you see there's this guy in the middle with all these paths and he's trying to escape, and the aim of the game is to cooperatively stop him from escaping by putting down these routes and blocking them. And the way that you do that, the way that you block those routes is with these cards, or you create like a loop so he can't escape. You can't like block a path with a path, but other than that, there's not really any other rules. I mean, you can't show people your cards and say exactly what cards you have, but you can still cooperatively work together and be like, I can take this area, I've got that sorted, I'll take this side. It's really simple. It's really small. The production quality, as you can tell, is really nice. The box is nice. The cards are good quality. They're small enough to shuffle well. I think the design of the whole thing and the kind of aesthetic is quite nice and quite cool and quite cute in a way. I mean, here's all of the rules. That's it. All packs away easily into a small, good, cute little board game. It's the perfect game to introduce to anyone because there's no rules overhead, and it's pretty good. It is a really easy game to play, but the thing is with Bandito is it's got table presence. Forget flipping table presence. That crumb still stuck in your mustache has got facial presence. Goodness gracious me, I'm trying so hard not to look at it, but it's all I can focus on. I should have just brushed out my beard. Never eat bread during a video when you need to cut your mustache. Flippin' heck. For such a small, simple game, it's a small deck of these kind of cards, but then you start to play a couple more. The table becomes this sprawling, winding map of caves all over the place, and that's pretty significant, decent table presence for a game that is small, short, and super, super easy to learn. And that's why I like Bandito. So, what's the issue with it? Why don't I like it? Well, Bandito's a game I've played a lot with a lot of different people, and I bring it with me, and it's easy to do and bring straight to the table whilst you're chilling, chatting, having a nice time, kind of settling in or whatever. The perfect coffee break game, the perfect introduction game. And the more you play this game, the more you see the holes in it. From my experience, the thing with Bandito is the first couple of hands, the first couple of plays of the round really, really make a difference to whether you're going to win this game or you're going to lose this game. I mean, and that doesn't matter normally for a short game, but the problem with it is what happens is if you haven't made significant progress in the first couple of rounds, closed off a lot of routes and kind of set it up so you can win, there's not really a chance that you will later on in the game. I mean, sometimes there is, but a lot of the time that first part means so much in determining whether you can win, which is fine, but that is kind of random. It depends on the starting hands for the first couple of rounds. If you don't have good hands, if you don't get those route closing cards, sometimes you just can't close off routes. Sometimes you're just making a bigger and bigger and bigger cave system with more and more openings, which I mean is fun. But you get to this point in the game where everyone kind of knows you can't win. And granted, this doesn't matter the first couple of times you play Bandito, but once you've played it a couple of times and this starts to happen, you get to a point you're like, we're not going to win. It's just not possible. You get to this point in the game where if you've all played it a couple of times, you either make the awkward decision to finish the game early and not finish it, or you lacklusterly play through the rest of the round until all the cards are playing, just hurtling towards failure, like me in everything I do. The randomness of this deck and whether you can win becomes a little bit frustrating once you've played Bandito a couple of times. And as someone who brings it to the table and brings it to new people, I do play it multiple times. I don't really think Bandito is a good game. But you see, the thing is, that really doesn't matter, because the issues with this game are irrelevant. Because that's not what it's for. This isn't a game that you want to bring to a group and play over and over and over again until you've mastered it. Because once you do start to do that, that's where you see the holes. That's where you get the frustration and the randomness. You see through it a little bit, but that's not the purpose of this game. You know, you can't be mad at a cup of tea for being warm straight out of the kettle. Because the whole point is you're supposed to have a nice warm brew to warm up. And this game is just that. It's just a warm brew, just to warm up. A little thing to do during a conversation or during your initial meeting. You don't want to play this over and over again with your group. The thing is, I see these flaws, I see these problems, and I have these frustrations with this game because I bring it to new people all the time because it's so easy. I don't even have to worry about saying like it's a board game. I'm just like, do you want to try this? It's super simple, put it on the table, within seconds we're going, you know? But I've seen it over and over again, and I start to see these issues and these flaws with playing the game and the randomness, but they don't. Your first couple of plays, it's a fun little puzzle you can play on the table, and that's what it is. It's a fun little puzzle you can play on the table with anyone, and it's tiny, and that's its purpose. So even though I do have complaints and issues with it after multiple plays, they're irrelevant because they don't really apply to the purpose of this board game or this card game for me anyway. Like I said, it's just a super approachable, about 10 centimeter game that you can play in about 10 minutes and teach in 10 seconds. Everyone needs a game that basically has no teach. It's a must-have if you want to play games with people. If you want to introduce people to games, you have to have something so simple that there is barely any explaining to do. And this, for me, is that at the moment. So though this game has its problems, you shouldn't get to the point where they should become apparent, because it's only meant to be brought to people and played like a couple of times every now and then over a coffee just to start things off. You don't want to be diving deep into something like this, because I don't think it holds up after that, but it doesn't need to. It's a brief, charming, simple game, and that's how it should be treated. Would I recommend it? I don't know, because ultimately maybe there is a formula that covers all those bases. This is my no teach, easy to bring to anyone game at the moment, and I know I've spoken about other simple games on the channel, but this just literally has no teach. There's no rules, there's nothing. It's really simple. But I have a feeling that out there's a game that has all those things but also holds up over multiple plays. There's also maybe a little bit more enjoyable, because I genuinely do get frustrated when playing this game now, but its function outweighs my frustration for it a lot of the time. If I can find an alternative, I'll move on from Bandito. If I can find a short, small, easy to teach, well produced, fun game that holds up over time, then hey, why wouldn't you want that? But at the moment, this fills a very important specific gap in my collection, and it's staying for now.